One theme we like to showcase from time to time on this program is that of people helping people. And what better way to demonstrate that theme than this special edition of Texas Country Reporter called Mueller's Helping Hand. You'll recall that last year at this time we brought you the story of an East Texas community support group whose future was forever changed by Mueller's gift of a new metal building, a new headquarters for that charitable organization. Well, so much good came from that gift, so many lives were changed, that Mueller's decided to do it all again. What you see behind me is the construction of a dream, one that will change the face of the winning organization for years to come. We'll tell you more about that organization and about what that building means to this community if you'll just travel along with me. I'm Bob Phillips. This is Texas Country Reporter.
Texas Country Reporter is brought to you by Capital Farm Credit. We're the answer. Mueller Incorporated. Metal roofs, metal buildings, ironclad guarantees. Hoheim Prairie Insurance. Texans serving Texans since 1892. Top Texas towns: Nacogdoches, Corpus Christi, Azle, Pflugerville, Longview, and Galveston. And Southwest Airlines.
Last year, the folks at Titus County Cares in Mount Pleasant were so thrilled with their new headquarters that our friends at Mueller wanted to do it all again and help out another nonprofit organization with the gift of a new building. We reached out to Texans and the applications came from far and wide.
The state of Texas was covered, honestly, from tip to tip. We ended up with a total of 218 applications. It's the hardest decision in the world because you read and you look through those and there's some desperate needs out there. But at the end of the day, somebody always rises to the top.
This board up here was completely rotten. We had to replace that.
Matter of fact, 4 finalist organizations rose to the top. A service dog training program called Patriot Paws in Rockwall, the Buckholts Volunteer Fire Department, a young mother's support group called AMI Kids Wings in Marion, and finally, St. Jude's Ranch for abused, abandoned, and neglected children in Bulverde. 4 very different but very deserving organizations, all doing great work in the Lone Star State. But there could be only one winner. When we come back, you'll find out who that winner is, and we'll follow their journey, ending with the unveiling of their new building. Welcome back to Mueller's Helping Hand, a special edition of Texas Country Reporter. Well, it all started back in the spring when we asked nonprofit organizations to tell us why they were in need of and deserving of a new metal building. The applications poured in, and after a selection process that lasted most of the summer, a winner was named. Based on a criteria of overall need, community impact, and ability to support the construction process, the Buckholts Volunteer Fire Department became the second recipient of Mueller's Helping Hand. Gary Klapis, local preacher and volunteer firefighter, had the honor of delivering the news to Buckholts.
I don't know how to describe it. I couldn't believe it. An absolute feeling of gratitude and humility after we hung up. I just almost got choked up for all of the people who have volunteered over the years, that they would be a part of seeing something that actually did happen in this little old town of Buckholts.
Gary and his fellow firefighters savored the feeling and then went to work. First on the agenda, a tour of the Mueller factory headquarters in Ballinger, Texas.
Overwhelming is the word I've been using, and I hate to use that word over and over and over, but it really is. It's overwhelming in the sense of what it means to so many other people, knowing the good that's going to come out of what we're getting right here in this building.
These beams would be your support beams. They'd be clear span across the 50.
Well, will that give y'all enough height? If
we make the outside wall 15 feet.
With the blueprints settled, Mueller placed the order for materials and rallied a volunteer construction crew, while the Buckholts VFD began pouring a foundation for a new fire station and a new chapter in the history of this nearly forgotten rural community. You've seen just a glimpse of the community of Buckholts and what the Buckholts Volunteer Fire Department is all about. But when we come back, we're going to tell you how that organization is actually a major part of the glue that holds this tiny town together. Welcome back to Mueller's Helping Hand, a special edition of Texas Country Reporter. Now, we asked nonprofit organizations from across the state to tell us about themselves, who they are, what they do, and how they could benefit from a new Mueller building. More than 200 applications all the way from El Paso to Texarkana came in, but in the end, it was the Buckholts Volunteer Fire Department that rose to the top.
Buckholts is a small little spot on the map, about 400 or so people.
It's a story that's become all too familiar in the Lone Star State. A story about how a once bustling farming community is struggling to hang on, encouraged only by the memory of the town that once was.
Well, it used to be a lot larger town than what it is now when we were growing up. There was a lot of people living in the town that's not here now.
Most of the folks who call this place home were born and raised here, and it's their spirit that keeps hope alive.
We refuse to die, I think, as a community, and it's just that spirit among so many people here that still have that heart to make this town, you know, a spot on the map, more than a spot on the map. And yeah, we have limited things, but yet we're still going. We're still plugging along. This is what kills us, even though we've got that one parked out there. Like this winter, we had several pipes that burst.
Hope, a couple of donated trucks, and some well-worn equipment housed in makeshift cover from the weather is about all the tiny volunteer fire department can call its own.
Just the weather in general has its wear and tear on our equipment. You know, we have hoses that are cracking, water getting in our fuel tanks. It's kind of scary, put it that way. You know, you get out somewhere and and your equipment isn't working like it's supposed to. It's all because we've never had a station.
We've got one truck in an old building that the building could fall down just at any time. And this is sad, and but we do the best we can with what we've got. It costs a lot of money to put a building up, and we just don't have the funds to do that with. We don't have a building, and looks like we'll never get one.
The men who make up the Buckholts Volunteer Fire Department are also the gears that keep this town's engine turning. Gary Klapus is the pastor of the local Lutheran church. Robert Rodriguez owns the tire store. Others eke out a 9-to-5 living at the cotton gin, or farming, or raising cattle. But busy days are put on hold when the radio sounds, and these volunteers step into their roles as lifesavers and heroes.
Cameron PD to Buckholts Volunteer Fire Department. You have a brush fire 2 miles west of Buckholts on Highway 36. Timeout 1432.
The Buckholts VFD covers more than 300 square miles, and from auto accidents and grass and structure fires, they are on call every hour of every day of the year. Their only payment, an occasional thank you, and the satisfaction of a job well done.
It's just a matter of humility, and it's just one of the things we do, to know that we've been there to help somebody when their world fell apart.
Soon the fire trucks will no longer bake in the summer sun or ice over in the winter. Soon the men of the Buckholts VFD will have a base of operations. Soon, Gary Klapis' prayers will be answered.
Words cannot again express the kind of thanks that I feel, and so many others as they hear now about this award.
They've been blessed, and they want to give back to the communities that are less fortunate like we are.
It's going to be really a dream come true for sure for us, and we're looking forward to it.
Day in, day out, big trucks blow through Buckholts, Texas without even slowing down. But on this day, this truck and its 16 tons of cargo are scheduled to stop and unload the future of one tiny fire department in the tiniest of Texas towns. This day is a day of celebration, of renewed hope, and just maybe, the beginning of a whole new Buckholts.
It's a very big deal. It will bring our community even closer together.
It's been longer than most folks can remember since a construction crew built a new building in Buckholts, and the town has turned out to watch as the Buckholts Volunteer Fire Department gets a new home.
When I came here Monday and saw the beams going up for the station, I almost cried. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I couldn't imagine this is a reality now, that we're having a station.
It's only fitting that a building for volunteers be built by volunteers, and every single member of this construction crew is donating his time and talent. You see, Mueller sells buildings, but they don't install them, except on this special occasion. It's a time when Mueller managers and salesmen and customer service reps are here not to draw a paycheck, but to make a difference in the lives of some very deserving people.
After last year's project, we went through that and kind of reflected, and it was just the most rewarding experience for Mueller. Just the atmosphere of the employees of the company was just different. It was very rewarding because they worked on a project that was worthwhile, and it was exciting, and they knew it was good was being done.
It's all for a good cause. We're all here coming together for a community. There's no better feeling that you can have than to volunteer and do something for somebody who really needs something. And I try to do it as much as I can, and the fact that Mueller does it and I get to help Mueller do it, it's very special to me.
They make us feel like we're doing them a favor, but they're actually doing us a favor. We're a company that does care about the community, and this proves it.
Over the course of 3 days, the vacant corner of Main and 6th Streets is alive with a buzz of activity that will forever change the face of downtown and the morale of this community. More than just shelter for fire trucks, this building will become a new center of fellowship for a town in desperate need of newfound togetherness.
We can open up the bay doors, drive the trucks out, and it's going to be a large meeting area for people to go in and have some activities in the community. We'll be able to bring the school kids over and have some fire prevention programs. You know, it's an endless list of things that we can do now that we've got a building in progress here, and I don't think there's any end to it.
Isn't this a beautiful, beautiful building? Wow. Thank you guys. On behalf of the town of Buckholts and our wonderful volunteer fire department, I want to take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you here today.
When the work is done, it's time for a celebration. And it is at this moment that we all witness just how much this means to this town. There's a parade with a color guard and the band and cheerleaders from neighboring Cameron, Texas. The local kids get to leave school early. People from the town gather on the streets. Fire departments from near and far come to offer congratulations. There are tears of joy and shaking heads of disbelief. It's clear now that this is much more than a building. This is a new beginning.
Now, on behalf of Mueller and on behalf of everybody that's been associated with this project from Mueller, I want to present the keys to Gary. Keys to the building, it's all yours now.
To the students, to all the ladies, gentlemen, everyone who have gathered here today, I present to you, from Mueller Buildings, given to us, the new Buckholts Volunteer Fire Department Fire Station.
It's a great end to a great week, but there is more.
Some of us moonlighted on volunteer fire departments as well. And what do volunteer fire departments do when they need help? They call for mutual aid. Texas Task Force, will you make scene in Buckholts, please?
In all, there are 5 trucks from North Texas fire departments filled with donated firefighting gear, enough to properly equip a fire department that's done without for far too long.
It was just that feeling that the things you can't believe are absolutely just going up before your eyes, and it's that overwhelming feeling again of just goodness, of good things happening right there.
There is one thing this building will house that can't be measured, something that will fill all of its 4,000 square feet, but not take up any space. Community pride. And on this day, this building is busting at the seams.
I do get emotional because it's, it's something you're a part of. It's something that people are going to remember, from years to come. My kids, if they choose to be in the fire department, they'll know that their dad was part of this building that's established now.
This is a true gift to this town, and I look at it honestly as a gift from God. I really do, to think that we would have won this building over 200 applications. And I know there is many, many needs out there for other communities, but for us to have gotten it is just such a blessing.
The cold days of winter are just around the corner, and this year, for the very first time, the Buckholts Volunteer Fire Department will have shelter for their trucks and equipment. The community will have a place for small town fellowship. And a new cornerstone is in place to keep this tiny Texas town strong. Next week, we'll tell you about a motel for bikers only. And we'll have some of the best barbecue on the South Plains. I'm Bob Phillips. This is Texas Country Reporter. We'll see you next time.
Promotional consideration and travel arrangements provided by Valero, all American gasoline, all across America. La Quinta, with more than 600 hotels nationwide. Book your room at lq.com and wake up on the bright side. Texas Country Reporter is brought to you by Capital Farm Credit. We're the answer. Mueller Incorporated. Metal roofs, metal buildings, ironclad guarantees. Hoheim Prairie Insurance. Texans serving Texans since 1892. Top Texas towns: Nacogdoches, Corpus Christi, Azle, Pflugerville, Longview, and Galveston. And Southwest Airlines.